Google Classroom is clean, organized, standardized. It really helps students to know exactly what to expect in your class and seamlessly navigate both your learning environment and a different teacher's learning environment. But due to these structures in Google Classroom, it can also be difficult for some students to navigate, and it allows for less teacher creativity. Using a Bitmoji Classroom can help reach out to students and foster a more intimate, creative learning environment. In this Teacher Tech on the Trail, I'm not going to cover how to build a Bitmoji Classroom. In fact, there are lots of YouTube videos out there that do a really great job of explaining on how to actually build it. No, instead, I want to focus on how using a Bitmoji Classroom in concert with your Google Classroom can increase student engagement, foster relationships between students and staff, and create an easier path for students to navigate in our Google Classroom. So Bitmoji Classrooms are really a fun, creative way for you to build a classroom environment and how an interface for students to interact with some of your lesson material. It's built on the Bitmoji app, which you'd find for most mobile devices. You'll notice that you'll have to add that extension, and again, there are lots of videos that we'll go through on how to do that. You can find them on YouTube. I can link some later on. It's right up there, and you can see it has all these crazy versions of the character that I created that represent me. Now, instead of talking about how to build a Bitmoji Classroom, I want to talk about how a Bitmoji Classroom can really be used to kind of streamline your Google Classroom and make it much easier to travel through it and to navigate it. A Bitmoji Classroom is built in a Google Slide in our case, or PowerPoint, but for us in our district, we're going to be using Google Slides. And so I've already go ahead and built this. I've already added all sorts of elements to it. But where it becomes so powerful is that these elements are links. And so I've added, let's say we'll start right here on the left, a flag. And I've linked this flag by hitting just Control K and inserting a URL to, let's say, the News for Kids, just as a website resource. Or if you look at like the door, I found a picture of a door I wanted. I then linked it by hitting Control K to an outside Google Meet. Same thing for my TV screen. I linked that one to my actual classroom Google Meet. And so what's really nice about that Bitmoji Classroom is it's really a series of links that allow students to seamlessly, easily navigate to other sites outside of your presentation. Those links can be really powerful too within Google Classroom because you can actually link to assignments. So if you look up here for today, October 19th, I've created 3 assignments here and I have linked them to my Google Classroom. So if I click Reading Log and I click right there, it's going to take me back into the Google Classroom. It's going to take me to that assignment that I've created for the kids to complete. Very simple. They're simply clicking on an assignment. It's opening a brand new tab for them with a direct link to what they want them to do. So it's a very nice streamlined process. Additionally, I can do all sorts of outside resources. Maybe if there's a book of the day, I could link it to the library where a student may be able to check it out or see if it's available. I've joined Pear Deck. So here I might be doing a Pear Deck for my class. I don't have to have students open up a tab and type join Pear Deck. Joinpd.com. I simply have them say in your Bitmoji Classroom, why don't you go ahead and click the pear icon, and it would take them directly to that spot to enter our class code. Again, streamlining it. For asynchronous students, after a class is done, you could go in and link those recordings that we have for different sections. So here's a recording of reading. We can have it set up right there. That's Mrs. Lozo attached. And so you could have students seamlessly navigate to those recordings and not having to go through all the different levels of a Google Classroom and going to coursework. It's streamlining that process. Now, a couple things that are going to be important for when you're uploading this and using this in your classroom. The first thing is if you just shared this screen, a student would really be able to manipulate it and move it. And that's really not that great. And I don't want it to open up inside a Google slide. I want it just to be a seamless image that has links. Now that's actually something we can do by clicking File over here on the left-hand corner and coming down to Publish to the Web. It's right above my little image there, Publish to the Web. And what this will do is this will send me a link that is just of that presentation. It's just the picture. And so I'm going to have to hit Start Slideshow because I want it to go automatically for a student, and I want it to restart. I only have one slide. It's going to repeat over and over again. And there's that link. So this is the link to just the presentation of my Bitmoji Classroom. So I'm going to copy that link and take it back to my Google Classroom class stream. And if I want to kind of seamlessly make this so a student logs on the Google Classroom, they hit my Bitmoji Classroom and it opens up all the daily activities, I'm going to move it up here at the top. So I'm going to click here. I'm going to add a link and I'm going to copy in that link that I just had to the presentation. It'll pop up right here. I'm going to say the class Bitmoji Classroom for 10/19. You can go ahead and hit post. And there it is for students. When they click it, it would show up just like this. They're going to click it, and you can see it's opening up a tab, and there it is. They can't manipulate it, but they still could click on links that are going to take them and kind of navigate them through the Google Classroom for them. Or maybe they're going to our actual Google Meet going on. So a Bitmoji Classroom could be a really great way to help streamline your Google Classroom and make it easier for students to navigate. It's also a great way for you to kind of create your own creative space where you can kind of personalize it to who you are as an educator, but still have some of those structures and organizations that Google Classroom is so great at. So if you have any questions about building a good Bitmoji Classroom or how to manipulate it and kind of make it better for students, reach out to your media specialist. You could reach out to me, and we can really help you walk you through this. But always remember to keep moving forward.